What drives giants to walk 1,000 miles? In the heat of dawn, the first silhouettes appear at the horizon, a slow ripple of gray moving across the grassland. These are not random wanderers, but an ancient convoy guided by memory, water, and the pulse of the earth. This is the story of elephant migration, a long, deliberate exodus shaped by seasons, survival, and social wisdom. Scene setting begins with the landscape, vast savannas, braided rivers, and parched plains that change with rainfall. Elephants trace routes older than maps, pathways etched into the terrain by generations. Matriarchs carry maps in their minds, knowledge gathered from decades of life, from whispered encounters with thirsty springs and bone-dry riverbeds. Their steps stitch together distant pockets of sustenance, linking calving grounds to seasonal feeding sites and hidden waterholes. Observe how movement is choreography. Herds flow as a single organism, calves cushioned at the center, juveniles testing the edges, bulls moving in loose concentric rings. Trunk touches and low-frequency rumbles coordinate progress, while the matriarch reads subtle cues, a change in smell, the distant cry of a bird, the scent of rain on dust. Each migration pulse is a negotiation between energy budgets and risk, where to feed, where to rest, when to cross a river, paired with crocodile jaws and shifting sand. Insight blooms when we look beneath the obvious. Migration is not only about reaching greener grass, it is a dynamic adaptation to landscapes shaped by water and fire, by predators and people. Seasonal floods transform plains into temporary lakes, birthing lush islands of food. In drought, survival depends on knowing the timing of ephemeral pools and the buried roots that sustain life. Elephants are ecosystem engineers. Their feeding patterns open corridors for other species. Their dung disperses seeds, and their footprints create refuges for water. The migration becomes a thread that weaves biodiversity into a cohesive tapestry. Scientific studies reveal astonishing fidelity to roots. GPS collars and long-term observations show that families return to the same springs and riverine thickets across decades. Matriarchs who remember a lost waterhole can lead their family to safety. When a matriarch dies, that knowledge may vanish. Social memory is a form of inheritance as crucial as genes. The loss of elders through poaching or conflict frays the map, increasing risk for younger herds. Reflection turns to the human dimension. As human footprints expand, migration corridors narrow. Farms, fences, and highways slice through ancient routes, forcing detours into danger. Waterholes become contested resources. Where elephants once found refuge, they now face snares and poison baits. Conservationists work with communities to secure corridors, using satellite imagery to map routes and local knowledge to negotiate land use. Protecting migration is not simply saving elephants, it is preserving a living library of landscape wisdom. The rhythm of movement also contains remarkable social learning. Calves learn by watching elders drink deeply and tear at bark. They learn to judge the smell of rain on wind. Males, often solitary for parts of their lives, pendulum between independence and the call of breeding migrations. During these journeys, families exchange information at watering points, and genetic diversity spreads across populations. Migration acts as both highway and classroom, a conduit for survival strategies and evolutionary resilience. Aerial footage reveals the scale. Humps of gray flowing beneath sunburnt sky, punctuated by the shimmer of rivers. Close-ups reveal textures, the rough map of an ear lined with scars, the moisture on a trunk as it lifts water. the cautious blink of a newborn taking its first unsteady steps. The camera lingers on small acts of care, a matriarch nudging a calf, a juvenile coaxing a stubborn trunk into a puddle. These gestures are the quiet scaffolding of migration, the micro behaviors that enable macro movements. There are moments of great drama, river crossings compress time, patience, calculation, and sometimes panic. Crocodiles lurk at bends. Sudden storms can transform fordable streams into torrents. Herds will wait, test, and then surge, using combined strength to push through currents. In other seasons, fire punctuates the route, clearing old growth and revealing fresh shoots that become temporary feasts. Each hazard refines the herd's decisions, reinforcing the matriarch's role as strategist and sentinel. Conservation success stories show that human and elephant interests can align. In some regions, community conservancies have reconnected fragmented routes with negotiated easements and wildlife-friendly fencing. Early warning systems using simple mobile networks alert villagers to moving herds, reducing conflict. Where corridors remain intact, biodiversity rebounds, herbivores return, predators follow, and plant communities recover. These victories are measured not just in elephant numbers, but in restored ecological function. Yet the threats are persistent. Climate change shifts rainfall patterns, making traditional timing unreliable. Poaching still claims elders, and infrastructure projects proceed without adequate wildlife planning. The future of migration depends on integrated approaches, transboundary cooperation, community engagement, and landscape-level planning that respects both human livelihoods and animal pathways. Scientific monitoring must be paired with local voices to craft adaptive strategies that evolve with the land. As the sun sets on a long day, the convoy finds a riverbank. Calves suckle, adults graze, and the matriarch drinks deeply while listening to the night chorus. Under the stars, roots are reinforced in memory and in footprint. Each migration endpoint is also a beginning, a classroom for the young, and a promise that the land will be walked again. Elephant migration is a story of continuity and change, of social knowledge and environmental engineering. It teaches us that survival is as much about remembering as it is about moving. To protect these migrations is to protect a living archive of ecological intelligence. If we are to safeguard these journeys, we must listen to the land and to the elders that walk it. Support corridor protection, back community-led conservation, and demand wildlife-conscious planning. The paths of giants are fragile, and their survival is woven into our own future. What will we choose to remember?